Hi, I'm Ken Rule, Senior Applications Engineer for Expand Machinery. Let's talk about the Renishaw Go Probe OTS tool probe on the GenMill line of machining centers. The tool setter sets the tool offsets relative to the face of the spindle. This results in a positive offset value that represents the distance from the face of the spindle to the cutting tip of the tool in the z-axis. The work offset in the z-axis now becomes the distance from the face of the spindle to the z0 of the workpiece. The program uses the z negative work offsets, G54, 55, etc., to place the face of the spindle at the z0 on the part. Then the program uses a G43 to activate the positive tool length offset to back the spindle off the work. The combination of the two tells the machine the location of the part 0 and Z. We can use the positive length of the tool after it is measured to find the negative value of the work offset. Drills and other pointing tools only require a measurement of the tip of the tool. Side cutting end mills under a 1/2 inch diameter also require a measurement at the tip and may also require an accurate measurement of the tool diameter. Tools over a 1/2 inch in diameter require a measurement off center while they're turning. The Renishaw Go Probe macros cover them all. In this video, we will be using the Go Probe app on the Android or iOS to create the code for the macro call. Start the Go Probe app and select control type FANUC/Meldus. Select Tool Setter. At the top, you will have the option of selecting Manual, Automated, or Setup. The manual mode will require you to manually bring the tool into position over the probe stylus and return to the Z machine home. The manual mode is recommended to set the tool offsets during setup. The automatic mode will automatically take the tool over the probe stylus and bring it down to be measured and return to the Z machine home. The automatic mode is recommended for updating tool length offsets in the program. The setup mode is used to calibrate the probe if you happen to move the probe on the table. Let's take the offset of a tool at the tip. This can be a drill, reamer, tap, or a flat end mill. Select Length on Center. If you want the measurement to be put in an offset number other than the tool number, select Optional and enter the desired tool number. If you want the measurement to be placed in the same offset as the tool number, leave this blank. Select Next. It will display the code to execute in MDI. G65P9921M21. Let's break this code down. The G65 is a macro call. It tells the control to load the following arguments for use by the macro. The argument P9921 is the name of the macro to run. The argument M21 is the cycle number. This tells the macro that we want to measure a pointing tool. The argument T with a number will show up if you selected to put the value in an offset other than the tool number. In this case, the measured value would be placed in offset 51. You would call tool 1 at the tool change, then G0, G90, G54, X0, Y0 to position the tool in X and Y before dropping into the work, and H51 for the G43 offset call in the program. This is an example of what this may look like in your program. Now enter the macro code in MDI. Press Input. Note that the green message MDI set ended is displayed. Press Cycle Start. The tool will move to the probe at a fast feed rate. then back up and feed down at a slower feed rate to take the measurement. The result will be loaded into the desired offset. If the tool diameter is greater than the stylus, it is recommended that you use the next cycle, length off center. Next, it asks you for the tool diameter. We'll say 3 inches. This cycle also has the option to change the offset number. The code G65P9921M21D3 is displayed. The tool diameter has been loaded as a D argument. Like before, enter the code in MDI, press input, and cycle start. The tool will move off center by its radius and start rotating backwards. After making its initial touch, the tool RPM will increase and the Z will come down for the measure. If you have an end mill and you want to measure the length and diameter, select the last cycle, length and diameter. Input the nominal diameter of the tool. Note the optional ability to change the number like before. It will now display the code G65P9921M22D.5. Note the M21 is now M22, telling the macro to measure the length and the diameter. The tool will measure the tool tip and take 2 measurements on the side while turning backwards to determine the diameter of the tool. The diameter value will be loaded into the tool diameter offset for use with cutter comp. You will find additional codes you can use to modify how the cycle runs in the documentation with your GoProbe kit. I suggest you use the default values until you become familiar with the operation of the probe. This concludes the instructions for the operation of the Renishaw GoProbe tool setter. Bye for now.